Yeah, right. All right. Good. This is working. Right. All right. Let me get out of here. YouTube. This is working. Let me get in here. Woo, man, telling you, nobody's watching yet. It don't matter. It's all good. Everybody will catch the replay. Yes. I'm back, y'all. We're gonna go in, not for too long, but we're gonna talk about some shit. All right. It's gonna be nice. Look at what I have front and center, y'all. Mi flaquita and mi hermano acá, a goats himself. All right. Now, wow. Truthfully, the last time I was on here, even before that, it was a long time since I was hitting the airwaves here on the YouTube. And let's get the likes up, y'all. I say that one person, bro. It's okay. It's not for you. If you leave, if you come in and you leave, because obviously this isn't for you. This message is not gonna hit you. It should. It's okay. It's not your time. The last time I was talking was a day to dead, right? When I came up here. And I was just hitting some shit really good, right? Um, yeah. And then the last time before that was in March when I came out here and I was talking about, I was going into that Mars energy, that God of War energy, right? So yeah, of course, when you come out here and you talk some real shit, you get silence. Last time I was up on here was what the Day of the Dead, right? That video got removed. I got blocked. I got censored until February. That didn't go well. I was planned, did it? Why? Because I sat my ass down with my flaquita and I was telling her, how the fuck is that possible that these motherfuckers are able to silence me from the truth? And then and it seems like we are in real power spiritual realm, right? How is that possible? And she was front and center, right? Because the Day of the Dead is her. She represents the Day of the Dead. That's all her. That's her energy. So how is that possible that these motherfuckers can actually silence me from speaking my truth and speaking my purpose, and then try to punish me till February? Watch, I'm gonna get my video back. I'm gonna get my video back. I'm gonna put that in the Patreon. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna silence me. I'm telling you, when you walk in your purpose and you walk in your truth, they can't fuck with you. You just have to know that you're able to make shit happen too. If you're especially you're out here doing the spiritual work. I'm out here doing the spiritual work. I don't come out here to be playing games, y'all. I'm on some real shit. Like I said, I wasn't supposed to be on here on the airwaves until February. And so I was thinking, I was like, I ain't not gonna let this shit slide. So I sat there with my flaquita. I told her, look, mama, we cannot let them silence us. We have to show them that we are forced to be reckoned with. She represents balance and justice, right? So what does that mean? She's a prominent force. She's a force that cannot be fucked with. How are we gonna allow these inorganic beings or this inorganic artificial intelligence to try to stop us from speaking our truth and we get silenced? You know how long it's been since I really have been like shadow banned where I've been where I had videos been removed from my channel, and I ever since I started this fucking platform, I had videos removed and I only had like 30 something subscribers. Now we got 109 subscribers. We finally hit that milestone, right? We barely hit that milestone not too long ago, but it shouldn't have been that long. It shouldn't have to take that long. You get what I'm saying? Because I don't come here on this platform to be talking shit out of my ass. I come on this platform to bring some truth. I come in this platform to really shake their cages and ruffle some feathers, some feathers. You get what I'm saying? Like I'm telling you, I was supposed to be silent until February, going into a 7 year. I was supposed to wait till February to talk. I ain't waiting shit. I'm gonna come out here and I'm gonna bring some sauce. I'm gonna talk my shit. But just like shit is a fertilizer, shit grows. I'm planting seeds. This is what they're scared of. Look at the kind of energy I work with, y'all. I'm not playing around. I'm on some real shit. You get what I'm saying? So let's talk about it. Let's go into this whole because I don't got too much time. I got something I want to do on Clubhouse too. Whew. Today is the 25th of December, the birth of your Jesus. It's really the birth of your goat. It's really the birth of your devil, the devil that you suppress, the devil that you just ignore, the devil that you are so scared of, but yet you celebrate that energy, you celebrate that day. Christmas has nothing to do with spirituality. In fact, it's the reverse of spirituality. In fact, it's like signing a soul contract. It's like signing your soul over to a dark entity that you think is about righteousness and family and this and that. It's a fucking spell. You get what I'm saying? Because a lot of people operate in ignorance. A lot of people operate. This is why they got you under a spell. If anything, Christmas is a pagan tradition. Hey, I got nothing against paganism because I'm a pagan, but I speak of my truth. Put it like this: Jesus born on the 25th is a Capricorn. He's the goat. Baphomet represents the goat, right? He's the representation of the goat. He's the representation of that devil energy. In fact, it's in reverse because devil means lived, right? So how is it that people cannot put it together? Even when you talk about Santa Claus, a man in a red suit. What is the color of the devil they give you? In fact, put it like this: your root chakra is red. That's part of the ego, and that's part of the shadow. That's part of the shadow that we suppress. That's part of the ego. Remember, this whole earthly realm is materialistic for a purpose. If anything, Christmas has nothing to do with spirituality. It has to all deal with consumerism. The more you consume, you make them rich. It's sad how you have parents literally wasting their last pennies on gifts for their children, and it's all about monopoly. It's all about money. Has nothing to do with spirituality. I'm not even mentioning religion because religion is a stepchild to spirituality. When you understand what this whole Jesus energy was or is, you learn to act better and maneuver better. The last time I celebrated Christmas was 2019, and I was like, "Yeah, I gotta step away from that energy because that's not me. I don't. I'm not into the consumerism like that. I'm not into consuming that shit. I understand that program. Why am I gonna go ahead and participate in that program? You get what I'm saying? In fact, when they started their crusades and shit, who do you think they came after? They came after the witches. They came after the warlocks. They came after the fucking shamans. They came after these people that were practice healing and medicine, natural medicine, not alternative medicine, natural medicine. You get what I'm saying? We were submerging with spirit. We understood duality. We understood polarity. This is what Baphomet represents. Just like my Falakita, she represents balance and justice. When I came to her with that, when I told her, look, they silenced me into February and you were front and center, we were talking about you. And you think we're gonna allow this shit for them to go ahead and think that they're gonna keep removing my videos and try to fuck with me when I'm doing my work? She represents that justice. Look at the scales right there. In fact, look at her colors. This represents the chakras, which we're gonna get into right now. All the seven chakras, right? So when we're talking about this whole Jesus energy, understand that you're dealing with a devil energy. Okay? Look at this tarot card. When you understand what this tarot card means, this goes into the Capricorn energy as well. Okay? Look at the crown over his head. The corona, right? That's the seventh chakra up here over his head, right? This also goes into the 15. This is card 15. I represent that 15 number. Born on the 15th date. Okay. So when you understand this whole Jesus energy, you understand to do better. And this is why I want to talk about it. This is why I'm bringing up this discussion because we need to step away from this type of egregor because this is what that Jesus represents. He represents an egregor. What is an egregor, Miguel? Something that's created by you, your mind, right? The more you celebrate that mind, celebrate that energy, you're giving energy to an energy that you don't even understand that you're participating in. Like I said, it's a soul contract. You're signing your soul over. In fact, the Christ is you, right? Yes, there's a difference between Jesus and Christ. It's not the same energy. Christ actually did walk this planet. Christ, the real Cristo, was into mystery systems and mystery schools. He understood the mind's eye. He understood all the seven chakras. Why? Because he went to these systems and these schools to learn everything that Jesus did or Christ did when he was able to turn water into wine. That's called alchemy. When he was able to raise the dead, that's called necromancy. When he was able to heal the blind, that's called shamanism. Okay, that's the thing that Christ was doing, and those are the same abilities that he was doing that we can do. This is why now it's not one savior that's supposed to come and save the whole humanity. It's a consciousness to act and do as Christ, right? Instead, what people do, they celebrate a birth of a devil that they so scared of, but yet they celebrate that same energy, thinking it has to do with Christ. In fact, Christ was born in April. Think about his energy. He was rebellious. He was a leader. Doesn't that sound like an Aries to you? I don't know no other sign that does that. What does, if anything, he represented war? Think about that energy. Think about that energy for a minute. Okay, it's not hard to. When you understand astrology and astronomy, you understand exactly how everything is written, right? So when the day of his born date, according to what they tell you, on the 25th of December, that goes into the Capricorn, and that becomes the devil. This is why you got a old man fucking running around in a red suit delivering Christmas gifts under a tree. Remember, and the Bible also says 7 churches and 7 candles. That 7 churches and 7 candles is a representation of your 7 chakras, because your chakras are a force. It's light. You are body. You're a crystalline body, right? Remember, the Christ return is not one entity. It's a consciousness. Okay, it's a consciousness. Why you think they came after the healers? Why you think they came after the witches and the warlocks and the shamans, the curaneras and the curaneros? It was for a reason. When you understand this shit, you know to move better and do better. Because just like when we celebrate Halloween, how you gonna celebrate a Halloween and put a costume that represents a witch when you're not when you're supposed to be the embodiment of a witch, because a witch means a wise woman. You know what I'm saying? So when I was telling you about the chakras, what the chakras represent, when they talk about seven candles, what do candles need to be lit? It needs fire, right? It needs fire. Just like you are carbon based. What is carbon, Miguel? Carbon is 666. When they talk about they want to tame the beast, you are the beast body. Remember, this is the physical body. You are a spirit form operating in this vehicle. That's what you operate in. But we're not just the body. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. Notice I didn't say human because human means dead. Your hue means light, right? You are light, just as Christ was light. Okay. Now, Baphomet represents duality, just like Madre right here represents duality. Baphomet represents darkness and light, the energies of divine feminine, the energies of divine masculine. As above, so below, as within, so without. That's what Baphomet represents. Of course, Baphomet represents that darkness and the light. So yeah, you can this energy can give you what you want, your desires, but it can also give you something that's good because this whole planet is duality, right? But yet they keep you under a spell, celebrating a day that a lot of you Christians and Catholics want to talk bad about pagans and call us evil, but yet you sit there on the round table with your family to celebrate a day of evil. That's because you lack the knowledge. You don't have the eye to see. You don't have this eye open to see things for what it is, right? So I'm here to tell you what it is. The Jesus energy is your devil energy, right? So tell me, what is it that you're doing representing a day that you're scared of? You're celebrating with your family. You're opening up gifts with your family. Gifts. Again, you're putting your gifts under a tree. Your gifts are within. This is why they're doing so much to try to disconnect you from your God gene, what we call your spiritual DNA, what they call junk DNA, right? Telling you, and I've been saying this for a very long time, that we are very powerful beings. Look what I did with my channel. I was able to come back with my channel. I was supposed to be suspended till February. But when I sat there and I thought about this shit clearly, I'm gonna allow them to win. I'm gonna allow them to beat me and take away something for me, especially what I had in front of me. I didn't come out here to be playing this weak shit. Period. I'm out here to tell you exactly what it is. If that, in fact, the reason why they suspended me because they can't handle the truth. Because the truth is gonna set people free. I'm waking you up to the illusion that you think that it is what it is. Now tell me again, does it make sense when you're, if anything, you are this tree, right? You are the tree. You're decorating the tree that's pine, a pine tree. What is the pine represent again, Miguel? Your pineal gland. That's the representation of a pine tree. Is your pineal. Why you think they want to go ahead and classify your pineal gland? Why you think that is? Because the soul sits up here. That Christ energy sits up here once it's risen. The Christ energy sleeps in your solar plexus. This is why they say the Son of God. We're talking about the SUN. That's the representation of that Jesus energy is the Son, right? They go into sun worship. Oh, they took that shit from us. You see, we didn't. Our ancestors didn't. They didn't worship a sun. They knew they were part of the sun. They understood that metaphysics. They understood that we were part of the sun. That we had sun gods, right? Because we understood without the sun we would freeze. If anything, that Saturn energy was an original sun. We knew that. until it went to the dark side when it became a planet. You know what I mean? I talked about that in my Saturn lecture, right? So it's like when you understand this knowledge, you can do so much better. You don't participate in this bullshit no more, right? You, instead of being the ritual, because you're part of a ritual, when you participate in that, do your own ritual. Activate your seven chakras as Christ did. Live and walk as Christ. A lot of these people talk about Jesus is king and this and that. That Jesus is your ego or egregore that keeps you in your root chakra that doesn't want to help you elevate. He's the devil that you're scared of. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, people don't understand that. They really think that this Christmas shit has something to do with a birth of a baby Jesus. It's reverse. It's the birth of your goats, right? It's the birth of your goat. I'm telling you, people lack. Why? Because they're scared to tap into this type of knowledge. Your whole Bible was a book of astronomy and astrology. Your whole Bible was a book of the sun. In fact, your ancestors, if you have any melanin running through your body, and your ancestors were part of ancient civilizations, even built pyramids, your ancestors helped write that book. If anything, that book was never supposed to be written. That book to mystery schools, not see, but sacred knowledge. See my video now. I should have plugged my modem right directly to the laptop. That's all right. You get what I'm saying? That's the type of shit that we were on, right? We were sacred with our shit. We didn't keep our shit secret, you know. But the same systems that which we were teaching Jesus, I mean not Jesus, Christ picked that up too. He went into the mystery systems to teach. That's what I'm saying. A lot of you don't follow that energy at all. Period. You just really think they're gonna wait for the savior to come and save you. Ain't nobody gonna save you. You gotta save yourself, right? So let's go into the metaphysics of this whole Jesus energy. So we understand that Jesus is your devil, born the goat. Anytime when you go into goat, even the word goat alone, when how many people call each other goat? Look at Michael Jordan, the goat. All these goats. You're going back into that Satan energy. This is why they gave you Satan, Santa Claus, Satan and Santa. Hello, same fucking word. But yet you are right here at the round table with your family, celebrating a day that has nothing to do with any type of figure that you think that's holy. It's the reverse. It's the spell, right? So tell me, how is that? I just find it fucking funny. I can't even be serious right now with myself because this is hilarious. You get what I'm saying? So how is it you're celebrating anything that has to do with any type of holiness? Is that making no sense? You're making people richer. You're you're eating at a round table with your family, and instead of really going into ritual, going do this ritualistic, you're pretty much selling yourself over to an entity that is harvesting your energy, right? Because in fact, today's the perfect night to tap in, to activate your chakras so the Christ can rise out of the solar plexus. Because remember, the solar soul is the element of fire, right? Just like the Kundalini is the element of fire, the same thing. Your charcoal, you are the 666, your carbon base. What does charcoal need to be lit? It needs fire. Just like when they're talking about in the Bible, the seven churches are the seven candles or the seven seals, right? In fact, your four lower chakras is the root of devil because devil means to be lived, right? That's the four horsemen of the apocalypse. Apocalypse means what? It's to open the lid of something that is hidden. It means to be revealed, to open it for it to be seen, right? So that's the root of devil, your four lower chakras. When you activate your solar plexus, is when the Christ that goes into your kundalini, your 33 vertebrae, which is why Jesus died at 33, that goes into the 33 vertebrae. That's where the kundalini sleeps. So when you activate your charcoal and your chakras start to be activated, because remember the roots is the root chakra, which is the element of earth, which is why it's red. Who represents red? Your Santa Claus and your devil, right? So that means also material things. That means to be materialistic. That means ego. That means the shadow. That means foundation as well. You see, Baphomet or Saturn has a duality, right? That means mother as well. Because what is mother? Mother Earth, right? That mother energy. That mother energy comes from the heart, the fourth chakra, which is the element of air and the element of earth, right? Also represents that Gemini energy. Yes, that Gemini energy. In fact, we're under that Gemini energy so strongly that we just don't pay attention. Look, Yay, look what Yay he represents that Gemini energy. Pay attention to what Yay does. In fact, what does Yay mean? It means us. Isn't that written in the laws? I say ye are gods. Isn't written in the laws? I say ye are gods, the children of the Most High. What is the Most High, Miguel? It's the Sun. You see, when people lack, they just don't understand. That's why I say you have to pay attention to what is being said. When you got Trump, that also is a Gemini. He represents that Gemini energy, right? Why do you think Ye and Trump are going to be your next presidents in 2024? In fact, the 2024 goes into 8. That's going to be the Ouroboros. That's the death and rebirth. Okay? So get ready for that to come. That Gemini energy to be strong. See what I'm saying? I already see it. I see the big picture. So pay attention to what I'm telling you too. So the Kundalini is risen. It's burnt to your 33 vertebrae. So that means the soul has to travel also. It's right here, I'm back on his throne. This is when that Christ energy is connected to the crown chakra. He puts on his crown. This is where they get Jesus is king, right? Because he find that Christ energy is finally puts on that crown. Who governs the head? The ram, right? He governs the head. Just like the Aries governors that solar plexus along with Leo, they govern that solar plexus. What is the soul again? The soul, sol, sun, energy. As above, so below. As within, so without. Right? All this is in your folks. That's what I don't understand how people can read the Bible with no real knowledge. This is why you get caught up in the sauce. You see, the Bible is very esoteric. In fact, the Bible is an occult book. It's a spell book as well. You know what I'm saying? So all this I'm telling you is I'm not trying to like I said, I'm not out here to be talking shit or pulling some shit out of my just to speak. No, I'm not doing none of that. I'm out here to tell you exactly what it is, right? Because it's time that you wake the fuck up. Stop signing contracts with your soul and participating in an energy that you so much demonize, but yet you participate in it. That's a sign of a hypocrite altogether. Why do you think I don't celebrate Christmas no more? Because I'm not trying to get involved in that hypocrite energy. If anything, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do rituals and I'm gonna tap into that Christ energy and become one with that Christ. because I'm not signing my soul to no contracts. I'm taking away that pen and that paper, and I'm going to do things how I'm supposed to be doing it, not celebrating it how you all do it. That's the difference. You get what I'm saying? I'm not coming out here to be playing around. I already am telling you exactly what that Jesus represents. That Jesus is that devil energy that keeps you it keeps you dependent on something outside of you instead of acting like that Christ energy you need to be acting as. Represent that Christ energy as is. Again, that Christ energy, he he was a shaman, he was a healer, he was a curanero. That's what that Christ energy is. He was also your rat, not a Capricorn. There's the reason why that date, the 25th goes into seven. They're talking about your seventh chakra, your corona, and all your seven candles and all your seven churches that's within the body. Because crystal also goes into Christ, which you have 144 crystals within the body. There's no such thing as 104,000 people that are going to send. No. How many of us are on this planet? And you think there's only 104,000 chosen people that are going to post to bring the heaven to the earth? No. It's 104 activation chakras or crystals that within your body. You have to activate these 104 crystals to be as Christ. That's the 144 chosen. Let's face it, not everybody's gonna make it. Especially if you're sitting on a round table celebrating Christmas. That has nothing to do with that Christ energy. It has to do with an energy that you suppress. Right? This goes into that the Capricorn, the goat. Right? Even Baphomet has nothing to be afraid of. You should be embracing this type of energy because this energy is something you want to mess with, right? Why do you think he sits on top of the planet Earth with a smile on his face? Because he's the mystery that you need to get to understand who you are, right? But yet you are afraid of this energy. You're afraid of this energy, but celebrate it today. The birth of a goat. Ain't that some hypocrite shit right there? You get what I'm saying? You think you put it like this. There's no coincidence that today was Sunday and yesterday was Saturday. Christmas Eve represents time. Just like Adam and Eve, Adam is autumn and Eve represented time. Because Eve goes into X. It also goes into 10. Look into your Roman numeral numbers and you see that X is 10. In fact, 10, 0 is for feminine and 1 is for masculine, which Baphomet represents the divine feminine and the divine masculine, which why he sits on top of Mama Earth. Okay. So how do we tap into this Christ energy? You have to sit in darkness to understand light. You have to tap into the darkness, which is you that you suppress, right? Why do you think there's a lot of people that cannot handle to sit with themselves to take accountability because we're too busy giving up what we're supposed to heal from and learn from? We're giving out to something outside of us, which is why we cannot be accountable for our actions because that shit is hard to do. But this is why they say get into the root of the problem. What is the root again? Your root chakra. A lot of you are stuck in that root chakra, can't even or even find somewhere, learn how to rise or raise above the roots. Remember, You are as a candle. What does a candle need to be lit? It needs fire, right? It needs fire. In fact, if you look at the pentagram upside down, just like you see it right here in Baphomet, that same pentagram upside down is the representation of you coming out your mother's womb through the head, through the crown, coming out the womb. That triple darkness, that 666 is you coming out your mother's womb. You're in darkness for 9 months. The triple dark also goes into the goddess energy, the mother and the crown. The 666 is you, melanated being. Before light, there was darkness. If you know the Bible right, you know what I'm saying. Everything I'm saying is not, like I said, it's not me talking shit out of my rear end just to say something. I'm telling you something because I understand this shit, because I studied and I studied myself. That's how we learn. We learn by studying ourselves and studying exactly the things we need to study for us to understand exactly what type of energy we are under. You are under an energy that you somewhat suppress because you don't understand this. But it's time to understand what you're doing, especially when you're giving your soul, you're doing soul contracts with an entity that you and deny. I don't deny this energy. I don't ignore it. I understand it from a higher level, from a different perspective, from a different angle, right? In fact, when you are able to raise your soul and your soul sits finally in the pineal gland, within your pineal gland, you have 72 demons and 72 angels. The demons are your geniuses. Those are the ones that give you your spiritual gifts. And the angels go into angles, right? You get what I'm saying? So when you understand this shit, put it like this: we all have these guardians where we so much demonize, but yet those are your guardians. Those are the ones that come in front of you and get shit done. Yes, they will turn on you, especially when you ignore that part of yourself. Because remember, everything needs awareness by you. It needs to be acknowledged. It shouldn't be suppressed because that causes you to become depressed, especially when you don't know how to deal with these fucking energies, right? You have to learn to deal with these energies. But of course, if you suppress this shit, what happens? We need to sit with ourselves to learn to deal with this shit, right? There's a reason why they put you under a spell. There's a reason why they do so much to classify your pineal gland. There's a reason why they keep you in your root chakra. There's a reason why they do everything they do. And especially if they give you programs thinking that your gifts or an energy like him is evil, but yet you sit on a round table with your family celebrating that same energy because you lack knowledge. Christ wasn't born on no December. He was born on April, right? There's some people say that Christ was born on April 15. I'm still trying to figure that one out because that was my birthday. You get what I'm saying? You know? So, yeah, it's just understanding that this energy because there's a difference between Jesus and Christ. It's not the same. You get what I'm saying? If anything, when they came over to our lands, when they came over to Mexico, when they went into the our Aztec kingdoms or the Mayans, what did they come with? They came with religion. They came with crosses. They came with a Bible. They came using that fucking Jesus energy. You get what I'm saying? They took our science. They took our books. They took our lands. They disconnected us from our spirituality. They disconnected us to the the main primordial energy on the planet, and that's mother. And they gave you a bastardized fucking religion and an energy that's masculine, the all-knowing God, which is also your jealous God, because that all-knowing God and that jealous God knows he's not no original God. So this is why they gave you a Jesus. Why do you think they made Jesus white? Hmm? Never think about that. And then what's crazy that they wanna blackwash that Jesus and make him a black character. This way, it's okay. Well, he's a black guy, so let's still follow this Jesus guy. If anything, Jesus goes into Zeus, right? A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people are disconnected to that knowledge. Yeah, he was I ain't ready for that. But he's a birdie. He's a birdie being spoon food. I mean spoon fed. What I'm saying right now. Imagine really going into the metaphysics of that whole Jesus and Zeus connection. That's gonna have to be a whole ass lecture. In fact, I did a there's a good post I did in my group I have in Facebook. You can check it out. It's a whole breakdown of what that Jesus really is too. You know, a very interesting post because it goes in the whole Jesus and all that, the religion and all that shit. So yeah, check it out. You know, I'm not trying to do all that right now. So, like I'm saying, when you finally start to activate this charcoal, because that's what it is, you have to activate your charcoal to understand to be able to rise as the Christ, because the Christ has to rise. That's the whole thing of resurrection. The Christ needs to be risen, and how is that Christ risen? Is risen through you, right? Instead, what are we doing? We're putting our gifts under a Christmas tree instead of activating more gifts, right? When I talk about gifts, I'm talking about your abilities, your spiritual gifts that you have that are inside your DNA and inside also your memory. This is how you tap into these gifts because your gifts are also tied into your Akasha records. But your Akasha records are in your memory bank and in your DNA bank. Do you know what I'm saying? This is science. This is simple math, right? We just have to understand this shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like people are just so fucking lost, man. It's like we're not in the age of Pisces no more. We're not in the age of Pisces. We're not in the age of ignorance. We're in the age of knowing. We're in the Aquarian age of Aquarius, age of knowing thyself. You get what I'm saying? It's like, how is it that we're still celebrating Christmas? How is it that we still allowing us to be connected to this religion dogma? In fact, this same religion dogma came over to your ancestors, murdered your ancestors, enslaved your ancestors. They sacrificed the children and they raped the women and they disconnected you to the primal source of mother. They demonized that feminine energy. They demonized that mother energy and they gave you this masculine energy, right? And they want to say it's the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. In fact, that all that shit is wrong. Has nothing to do with a Father and Son and Holy Spirit. In fact, if you want to say that, that's the Son. That's the Son. Because the real Trinity is Mother, Father, and Child. Right? That's the real Trinity. But yet, here we are, thinking that we're doing something to justify righteousness, and it's not nothing to do with righteousness, it's ignorance. and you're steady celebrating an energy that you demonize and you suppress. You're celebrating a pagan holiday, but yet those are pagans. You want to call them evil. What gives you the right? But yet you celebrate a day of pagan or a time of pagan, right? But yet you seem to forget how the crusade started. Pay attention. It's in your book. Look at the history, right? Even going back to your own DNA, your own lineages. This is why everything was written in stone by our ancestors. All we have to do is go back. You think our pyramids were built just to be built? They were built by design for a purpose to wake you up. Think about why in the hell did they come after the witches and the warlocks and the shamans for, right? Because we're that energy that gives that order into that chaos. You see, they have no business dealing with chaos energy. That chaos energy is not for them. This is why it's all unbalanced. Excuse me. Remember, she brings the balance, right? So let me see the scale. There it goes. Shaking around. There you go. Sorry, mama. She represents that balance and justice, right? When I told her, look, mama, we gotta do something about these. You can't allow them to keep me silent until February. She probably came out with her thing right here, like, that ain't happening. We gotta put them back on the air. Like I said, when you know what you're on and what you're about, the type of frequency and energy you carry, nothing can stop you. You get what I'm saying? This is an amazing time to be connecting to your ancestors. This is an amazing time to be connecting with your spiritual self. This is an amazing time to walk as the God that you are, a goddess that you are, because this is our time to shine. We're walking out of a 6 year and going into a 7 year by next year. What does that mean to be walking into a 7 year? You get what I'm saying? I'm a life past seven, and I represent that 77 because I was born at 77. I'm walking in that energy as a 777, tapping into my 666. You feel me? That's because I know this shit. So it's like when you understand we're walking into a 7 year next year, there's a lot of things that's going to be popping up for us that are activated. There's a lot of things that's going to be happening for us spiritually because the seven represents a very powerful spiritual number. Excuse me. It's a very powerful spiritual number. Okay. So this is what I'm saying. It's like it's time for us to start tapping into ourselves. We need to step away from the program and create our program because we are programmers. We don't belong in nobody's program or nobody's agenda. We don't belong in under anybody's spell. It's time that we start making our own spells and making shit happen. It's time that we do rituals. Like tonight is a night when you want to do a ritual. Not put your gifts under a fucking Christmas tree. Remember, you represent that Christmas tree because those lights on the Christmas tree represent your seven chakras, right? We need to tap into ourselves to be able to change that fucking reality, to change the matrix, what's happening outside of you. It's crazy how starting January 1st of 2023 that Chicago and Detroit and Houston might be going under a fucking purge. You think I'm scared? Hell nah. I'm fucking ready. I ain't scared about no motherfucking purge because I know who stands with me. I know what type of entities I have behind me, in front of me, around me. You think I'm scared? You give it it's our program. There's a lot of people that walk around in very low vibrational energy because they are allowing low vibration entities to jump into their bodies. You think that shit is a? You think there's no such thing as soul fucking snatchers or fucking what do they call that? Invasion of the body snatchers. You think that's a fucking? You think that's not real? That's some real shit that's happening. Especially right now, Chicago is under soft purge. They've been purging in Chicago for a very long time already. But who are they purging? Indigenous people. Because they know that we are the real goddesses and gods of this planet. We have a lot of warriors out there in these streets. And the reason why they're acting in chaos with no order, because there's no real leaders out there no more. That we are under a fucking we are being constantly under attack. And of course, if you have these warriors out there in warrior mode, how you think they have to release this energy, but they don't have no one to connect to show them better to understand this energy properly, so they won't have to be out there in mayhem. You think it's a coincidence? What's happening in Chicago? There's all kinds of shit happening in Chicago all the time. It's crazy. And there's no coincidence why I'm here in Chicago. I picked this fucking city when I incarnated in this motherfucker. There's a reason why I'm here. You get what I'm saying? I understand this shit. I know what's happening. And in fact, things are gonna get worse because top ley lines. Chicago sits on top crystal grids. Chicago is very sacred. These are sacred lands here in Chicago. All Illinois is sacred. Why do you think they call this the land of Lincoln? Right? In fact, wasn't Abraham Lincoln assassinated on April 15th? A lot of things happened on April 15th. The Titanic even sucked on April 15th. That's crazy, right? And the whole thing with the Titanic that had to do with the fucking Rothschilds. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, wow, all that shit that they're doing, all the shit they did was for a purpose. Check something out real quick. You know, all that had to do with the Titanic because there were some powerful families that the Rothschilds didn't want to compete against. Remember, the Rothschilds wanted to own the bank system. They wanted to own the Federal Reserve. They wanted to make sure that they were the top dogs and delivering and controlling the money system or the banking system. This is why they did the Titanic. See what I'm saying? So it's like we just have to understand what's happening. There's a lot of things that happen that leads to now. And the more we just stay in ignorance and really just do these soul contracts, the more they got you. Soul contracts, you're doing them all the time. What are your consent? What are your attention? Because you're too busy caught up in the sauce. You're too busy celebrating these type of holidays, thinking that you're doing something righteous. In fact, you're doing the opposite. You're spirit cooking yourself. You're spirit cooking your ancestors, especially when you're still tied to this fucking religion dogma. Understand, they sacrificed and murdered your ancestors. Look at my t-shirt. What does it say? In fact, this is one of the shirts I made. It says here, my t-shirt, I am washed in the blood of my ancestors, not Jesus Christ. I am washed in the blood of my ancestors because my ancestors were crucified for me. And that's facts. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, what are we doing right now? Why are we still putting our soul or attaching ourselves to this religion or this outside energy where in fact the energy is you. Isn't that written in the laws? I say ye are gods. Why do you think Ye is running around calling himself Ye? Ye means us. In fact, look at the movie Us. Going back to the Gemini energy, the movie Us is all talking about a doppelganger. You think these movies are all a coincidence? Or even like the movies Purge, you think these movies are a coincidence? They're telling you the truth in the movies and the lies in the media. They've always been doing that. That's the way they play. They have to tell you ahead of time what they're doing. They have to tell you this shit. It's called the law of correspondence. They have to tell you there are such thing called universal laws. Even though a lot of you don't understand that, but they still have to put that out there. What they're doing. Nothing is a coincidence at all. You know what I'm saying? Nothing's ever a coincidence what they're doing. You just have to know exactly what they're doing. Why do you think they gave you Christmas? What does Christmas mean? Christ miss. Christ is missed because you're not activating the Cristo inside you. Cristo, remember, Christos, that Christ energy is a consciousness, right? Be as Christ. If Christ was a brujo, be a brujo. If Christ was a healer, be a healer. Walk as this Christ energy. Instead of thinking he's a savior, that he's gonna come to save you. In fact, he's your egregor. He's your devil that's keeping you in that root chakra where it's keeping you from ascending and tapping into that Christ consciousness. Just read that Bible properly. It's telling you in there. When it goes on talking about the pineal gland, I seen God face to face, and I was preserved or I was saved. That's talking about the pineal gland. When you're connecting to the sun and the sun is feeding you here and up here, right? It's very easy to understand. This is the reason why they came after our ancestors, because our ancestors understood the science. Why do you think they were tapped into the spiritual gifts? They knew how to speak with their minds. They knew how to move shit with their minds. They knew so much. Why? Because they were spiritually connected with their DNA and source, right? Us indigenous people were nature beings. We were connected to nature. We were organic. Now they want to make you inorganic instead of being organic, right? You see, how are you a god and you're gonna worship a god outside of you? How are you a goddess and you're worshiping a god outside of you? That's taking away you from your divine femininity or femininity of who you are. Everything comes out the womb, right? Ain't no masculine can carry a child. Hell, I was able to create 7 children. That's a number 7 again. I definitely didn't have no one coming out my rib. It's funny because the other day the other night, not day, night, I was on Clubhouse and I was in this another room, a powerful room at that, because the goddess that runs that room is very powerful too. And here comes this energy, this masculine energy full of ego, and we're bumping heads because the way he's moving in, trying to demonize that feminine energy. And me being the masculine I am, knowing that I possess this energy that defends this feminine energy and defends this energy to the core, I had a lot to say. He tried to tell me, well, I teach a lot of people. Who do you teach? I was like, bro, you have no idea who I am. You don't have no idea what I do. If anything, I'm correcting you because you're wrong. He talking about he was the seed that created everything. That woman even come from him. I was like, so you really believe that story that Eve came out the rib of Adam? He said, dude, well, you're wrong, bro. Because Eve never came out the rib of Adam. In fact, Eve wasn't even Adam's first wife. How about that? You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you get these fucking ignorant fucks that come into these spaces and they swear they know all this shit and they take this Bible literally instead of understanding it metaphysically and knowing that this Bible is very esoteric. You gotta break it down, bro. You gotta read it from a place of knowledge, not a belief system. You really think that you are the creator of all creation? Then why didn't you have your children, bro? Why didn't you carry the seed you're so much say you plant? Yeah, I understand. I'm the seed, but just like every seed needs something else for it to grow, right? It needs that mother energy. But there was a time before any masculine energy on this planet was run and ruled by women. That means women are able to create by themselves. Okay, that's how powerful that feminine energy is, which is why they love to demonize that energy so much. There's a reason for that. They demonize that energy for a purpose because they know how powerful that energy is. So damn right, I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna put this dude in his place. In fact, he didn't even stay longer in that room because he felt how powerful my energy was. He left, and then it was funny because he stood there and students left too. He followed their leader or their whack leader. You know what I'm saying? I was like, no, I'm not having that shit. You're not gonna come in here demonize this feminine energy, make it seem like you're the all be all type of shit because you're not. You're wrong. I'm not having that shit. You hear what I'm saying? So, like I said, I'm gonna defend this feminine energy. I'm gonna do what I came here to do and put that energy where it needs to be, back on its throne. Right? Look at my flaquita. Look at what she represents. She's sitting on her fucking throne. She got the scales in her hand with her fucking thing right here ready to slice motherfuckers apart. She represents death, right? She's a primordial mortar. She's a primordial fucking force to be reckoned with. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when we understand these energies and we're able to tap in, it's like you see things differently, right? So this is what I'm talking about. It's like, why are we still even having these type of conversations? Or why is it that we still have people celebrating Christmas, right? When in fact, you should be resurrecting your ancestors. You should be tapping into your blood. You should be waking up that Christ that's inside you, that you embody. Instead of what you're doing, you're really buying into the hype. Period. It's time to end it because that's not the age we're in no more. We're not in the age of ignorance. Why do people want to stay there? You know what I'm saying? There's no reason for none of that no more. All you have to do is pay attention to what the fuck is happening. Why you think when they created that bio weapon in 2020, why you think they called it what they called it? They called it the crown for a reason. Because that's your antichrist to the Christ. Especially when they created that bio weapon that they injected you with, that was your spiritual DNA, and to cancel you from your God gene that's inside you, that God particle. Nothing is a coincidence. I don't understand how all these people that swear they're very connected to their God and their Jesus, but yet they're the ones that were in line taking that fucking injection. What happened to your fate? What happened to no weapon against me shall ever prosper? What happened to that? What happened to your God is that I thought he was all almighty and all this shit. What happened to that? It's a joke. Your whole religion is a fucking joke. If you participate in that shit, you're a joke. And that's what it is, right? So what happened to that? You get what I'm saying? If anything, you were tested. You were tested. And you're still being tested. And a lot of yous are failing. It's time to fucking change the dial tone. It's time to rise up and become all you can be. Right? You get what I'm saying? It's time to tap into these energies that you suppress. Hernandez celebrates fucking holidays and you demonize so much pagan traditions, but yet you low key celebrating pagan traditions. I don't understand that shit. Make it make sense. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm soon. Yeah, very soon. I'm gonna do a lecture. I'm gonna start doing lectures and Patreon too, because when I really, really want to go into some shit, I'm gonna put that on Patreon. Yeah, I'm gonna start doing that. This way, there's some videos that won't get removed. You know, um, it's good to be back. You get what I'm saying? But these motherfuckers, the way they be playing, they think that we're really gonna be playing with them too. We're not. As you see, I'm back here. I wasn't supposed to be back until February. You get what I'm saying? Obviously, I'm doing something right. Do you get what I mean? We're not playing over here. We're not. So yeah, I gotta utilize my Patreon more. I'm gonna start putting some videos in that one. I have some work in my Patreon. Check it out. There's some services that are there. You know, I have created a clubhouse, a club, and right there with that club alone, man, we have some very heavy hitters in that club. You get what I'm saying? We're not fucking around with that club. We have some heavy hitters. We got brujas on there. We got people that are tap into their spiritual gifts. We got seers. We got psychics. We got mediums. We got channelers. We have people that are doing tarot. We have people that are doing oracle. We have people doing all kinds of different things that are tapping into their spiritual practices differently. We got we got people tapping into hoodoo, voodoo, santeria, urubra. We have all types of things that are connecting into the spaces. I'm telling you, we're creating the space where we have people really heavy hitting heavy hitters in that group in that club. We're not fucking around in that club, y'all. We ain't playing. And we just started it. Just wait till what we're gonna do with it next year. If we're going into the 7 year, wait till what we're gonna be creating then. We're just starting. We are just starting. We are just beginning this journey. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, if you ain't on that clubhouse, subscribe to me there. Get on that clubhouse with me. You're gonna see what we be doing over there too. You get what I'm saying? And soon when we have a platform, we're gonna bring people over here and we're gonna be chopping it up in here where you can see us on the panel. How about that? That's gonna happen too. You get what I'm saying? Because we're not playing around. I'm telling you, this is not the time to be playing around anymore. We're gonna be connecting the dots. We out here connecting this and that. Like the rooms we've been having lately, we've been going into hermetic studies. We've been going into Zeus. We've been going into Hermes. We've been going into Tahuti. We've been going into sex magic. We've been going into all types of shit. You get what I mean? We're not playing. You get what I'm saying? We're really connecting the dots. That's what's up. We're a spiritual community coming together, building bigger communities. We're on a mission, and that's what we're doing. You know what I mean? So, like I said, it's time. It's time to stop doing the dumb shit. It's time to start really, really connecting yourself to who you need to become. You know, you have to understand that those that want to run this planet, they're doing it with magic. They're doing it with magic that you're scared to tap in. And I don't understand. The magic is inside you. This is why they like to gatekeep it. And they want to give you a Jesus and a God outside of you to follow. But yet you celebrate a day of like Christmas. I don't understand that shit. I don't get it. I don't. This is why I'm doing this right now to put this in front of you and make sense of it, to help you make some sense of what the fuck it is and what it's not. Right? It's on you now. What you're doing. You get what I'm saying? Because you're the one that signed your soul over to this shit. You're the one that's signing your contracts over to this energy outside of you. In fact, you is a savior that you are waiting for, right? So I'm not planning to be here too long. I'm gonna end this here. On Clubhouse, we'll talk about that seven energy for next year. That's gonna be an interesting discussion. So I'll be there. Y'all want to go to the Clubhouse? My link tree is in the description. Let's chop it up over there. Let's go in, right? So yeah, I'm gonna do on my next lecture. I'm gonna go ahead and really go into the Baphomet. It's time to do that. I'm gonna do that one next. Like I said, I've been having a presentation already ready since what 2 years now. That's 2 years. Yeah, 2 years. It's time to do it now, right? It's time to tap in. It's time to go in because we have to understand the Baphomet energy to the T. Okay, so you all have a amazing evening. You know, you don't have to believe what I'm telling you. It's not me that's doing a soul contract. It's not me being brainwashed and easy following like a sheep. It's not me doing that. It is you, not I. That's a you problem. But I'm just trying to wake you up. That's all I'm doing. I'm doing exactly what I came back here to do. You know what I'm saying? And that's to shake that fucking cage and wake up that beast so that beast could find its beauty. You understand? So you just have an amazing evening. Until next time, love, darkness, and light always. Gotta be the balance. You can't have one without the other. Right? Until next time.